Welcome to our part two of the data warehousing topic, and hopefully you have a break. You've done your break, your mga personal necessities sa atuang topic, and welcome to the next slide of the presentation. The components of data warehouse. Just like a warehouse, na physical warehouse natin, na nandun lahat yung mga data. Lahat yung mga stocks natin, 'di ba? Pag sa warehouse, masaling ka, check muna natin sa warehouse, baka nandun sa warehouse. Yung laman ng warehouse natin, may galing sa isang branch, may galing sa ibang supplier, iba-ibang supplier, iba-ibang product doon. However, so that mag-work or mag-perform yung ma-maximize natin yung warehouse natin, kailangan natin ng mga components, 'di ba? Kailangan natin ng manpower doon sa warehouse, kailangan natin ng delivery truck to deliver the data or components ano ang ara sa warehouse. Same concept or analogy i-apply dito sa data warehouse. However, tinatawag natin siyang load manager. The load manager naman, siya yung nag-execute ng extraction ng data from the warehouse, from the different sources padulong sa warehouse. That's the load manager. And the load manager, it performs all operations. It's although we have the data source, we have connections to different sources, but it will not work without the detailed component of the warehouse. Kung ano yung mga trabaho niya. Kasi pag walang component yon, edi lahat-lahat na lang anytime, walang control na sa operation. So that's why may specific component siya. Siya lang yung, ito lang yung trabaho niya. And that's the work of load manager. All the operations associated to instruction, pag-retrieve, at pagsalo sa mga data from the different sources, to the warehouse, that's the work of load manager. The warehouse manager naman performs operations associated with the management of the data in the warehouse. Siya din yung nag-ooperate the data of how the data being distributed, how the data being managed in the warehouse. Parang siyang manager doon sa warehouse. Another is query manager. Query manager is also known as a back-end component. If you are familiar with databases, you know what is query manager. The query manager is yan yung way na a venue how to retrieve data doon sa database. That's the query manager. And of course, with the query tools, yung sa end user access tools. Maski meron kang query manager, pero wala ka namang mga other components that like query tools, you cannot do it also. Data reporting, that's also another requirements of or components of data warehouse. Kasi although you can extract the data, but how will you transform that into a report that is needed by the organization? And you also need data reporting tools or whatever applications na kailangan mo in order for the organization to analyze the data that's being stored in the data warehouse, or you can design application or whatever free man yan siya or enterprise applications, basta maka-connect doon sa warehouse, ka-connect doon sa different sources, and then you can generate reports doon sa end user, or those are end user tools. And there are some data mining tools. In your subject, although it's hard to explain pa muna ngayon the data mining tools, but I know that you have another subject on data mining, so you will learn what are the data mining tools because associated doon sa data warehousing are the data mining, paano mo i-extract yung data so that you can have some statistical analysis. That is the work of data mining and of course with the data mining tools. So, sino-sino ba ang may need ng data warehouse? Data warehouse are, of course, really needed by the decision makers or the top level management. Kasi the top level management will just wait for the data ng mga end users natin, dun sa mga operational users natin. And then at the top of them are mga charts, graphics, 'di ba? Charts, analysis, graphical tools para makapag-analyze on the large amount of data na nanggaling na sa warehouse. Hindi na niya kailangan magpunta doon sa specific na data source but sisend na doon sa isang central database, doon siya mag-a-analyze doon. Kasi naka-centralize na yung database, naka-warehouse na yung mga data natin, ng mga data natin. Users who customize complex processes to obtain information from multiple sources. You can also create or customize or design a program out of some mga portals. You can have that one. Okay? It also used by people who want to simple technology to access data. So as I said, always ko gina-example yung situation natin sa school or the local setting ng isang organization in our school na mayroon tayong data doon sa mayroon kang data sa registrar, mayroon kang data sa guidance office, mayroon kang data sa SSC, mayroon kang data sa library. Di ba? To make it a simple approach to design a simplest way to gather data, why not design a central database or a data warehouse wherein mayroong mga components, load manager, something like that, query manager, or develop an application na mag-gather lang ng mga data doon sa mga different sources mo from the registrar, the guidance, the library, the SSC, para whenever you need the data, for example, magkano yung total balance mo, kasali na doon yung penalty mo sa SEC, magkano na yung penalty mo doon sa library, you just simply use technology, you just simply use a portal or sa system na check lang yung name mo, and then nandun na lahat yung information sa gusto mo. And that is the purpose kung bakit may data warehousing. If the user wants fast performance of huge amount of data, which is necessary for reports, grids, charts, and data warehouse, then the data warehouse is powerful. So the data warehouse is just a collection, it's not just a collection, but naga-store ng mga masses or mass amount of data, huge amount of data from the different applications na ginagamit from day-to-day life or day-to-day operations of the organization. And from that data na nag-gather, the organization can now use it to analyze data so that they can evaluate the business performance. Data warehouse is the first step if you want to discover hidden patterns of data flows and groupings. And that is all about data mining na. Now, saan ba ginagamit yung data warehouse? Of course, as by concept, you can relate that this is being used, no? Is maayong food nga dapat may naka-data warehouse gid na sila. Kasi kung wala, pag magpa-book ka sa airline karon, lakat ka naman sa pikas tindahan, may bookings, wala pa, available pa. So, dapat real time din yung booking area ng or naka-central database din yung airline company, mga banking. Okay? Lahat ng mga organizations, naka-network organizations ngayon, of course, meron na silang sharing ng data in a central warehouse or data warehouse. Disadvantages of data warehouse. Not an ideal for unstructured data. Ang hirap kasi noon. Okay? Creation and implementation of data is time-consuming and consuming affair. If you are trying to develop, collect data from different sources, mas mahirap talaga. Challenging talaga yan. If you're going to develop an application from different databases, remember that different databases meron different sets of styles ng commands nila. Okay? Structure. So that's time consuming. However, the good thing of that, pag nagawa mo yun, mas madali niya ang pag-access ng data. Difficult to make changes in data types and ranges data source schema kasi you cannot touch the data set or the data set or the design of your other source kasi especially pa yung source mo gawa ng other developer. Ang hirap noon. Despite the efforts at project management, data warehousing project scope will always increase. Sometimes warehouse users will develop different business rules. So steps how to implement data warehouse, meron tayong enterprise strategy, iterative prototyping. And implementing data warehouse, you need also to consider different steps. What are the needs of the organization? Ano yung scope ng organization na kailangan mo? At saka ano yung determine the need? You have to determine the business need. Is it necessary ba na kailangan ng ganito, na kailangan ng central database, kailangan i-warehouse yung mga data? Then, you have to design your database, central database. Kasi doon yung mag-guide sa'yo. Kasi doon ilalagay lahat ng mga data sa'yo. So, you have to decide a good skills in database this is an advantage pag maggagawa ka ng data warehouse. Okay? And then, acquire, develop extraction tools. There are some tools na hindi mo na kailangan develop on your own. You just simply develop it. There are free and there are some na for purchase na pag-extract ng data from the different sources. Define data source or data warehouse requirements. Document data missing. Okay. It's para lang siyang systems development lifecycle. Nandun pa rin siya lahat. Yung concept of SDLC, nandun pa rin yun. Advantages of data warehouse. Data warehouse allows users to quickly access critical data from sources all in one place. Kaya nga centralized, di ba? Data warehouse provides consistent information on various cross-functional activities. It is also supporting ad hoc reporting and query. Ang dami mga advantages ng data warehouse. So these are some few advantages of data warehouse. Data warehouse helps to reduce total turnaround time for analysis and reporting. Why is it? Because nandun na yun sa central database. Nandun na lahat ng data. All you need to do is to analyze it and generate report from it. So, na-explain na natin kanina yung disadvantages of data. So, that ends our topic on data warehousing. Thank you very much for your time. And if you have some questions, you can feel free to chat me in our group chat. Just address the topic, data warehousing topic. Okay, good luck and keep safe.